So, now that we come to lesson 21 PPT, let us go through the PPT once, understand the cleansing, maintenance and care of the crystals. As you can see from the first PPT, smudging is so important. Even if you are not using it every time to cleanse your crystals, always smudge your sacred space, your home or even your office. Smudging can really take away all the negative energies. In India, we call it nazar, buri nazar, or negative eye, or we in Telugu we call it drishti. Different ways it is used. In English, of course, it is called bad eye or whatever it is. So, you can always use smudging to help you get rid of any negative energy. Now, first of all, when we learnt about lesson 21, we learned that it is important to clean crystals. Why do we clean crystals? Let us go through that point once again in this PPT. Crystals absorb and transform and vibrate to energies, because they are surrounded by energies and they have this kind of mineral, metaphysical, spiritual element as well that absorbs energies. And as we have seen in the first 5 lessons itself, crystals are used, gemstones are used in everything, both in science and spirituality, as both as a jewelry form as well as a part of your backup hardware for your computers, television, storing memory, etc. Crystals are used everywhere, practically speaking, scientifically speaking, theophysically speaking, in every way crystals have been used. And philosophically also crystals have their spiritual element. So, let us learn why we need to cleanse them. Frequently used crystals need cleansing from bad energies. They can absorb and get saturated in negative energy to lose their effectiveness. For example, you are wearing a ring, finger ring, and you shake hands with different people throughout the day, and you keep shaking hands maybe with somebody who may be jealous of you, or somebody who is angry at you for some reason, and you are shaking hands, you are surrounded by different kinds of people. So, those energies get absorbed by your crystal to protect you from harming you. So, when you cleanse these energies, again the powers come back. In case you do not cleanse these energies of the negative energy which the ring has absorbed with its gemstone, the negative energies remain within the crystal because it has absorbed it from hurting you. Then the next time somebody comes and puts their negativity towards you, it affects you. So, if you want the ring or the gemstone to work for you, you need to clean it from time to time, so that it can work its powers in protecting you, right. Absorbing these saturated and negative energies will make it lose its effectiveness. So, cleansing it will help it bring it back to its positive element. Let us here understand how to use these, when to clean it first of all. When to clean your crystals. Let us look at the third PPT. Pay attention to your stones. If they are old, especially over a period of time, they start losing their sheen, their color, and they start having this dull kind of a look. The moment it looks dull and its color is not as bright as it was earlier, it means it has absorbed the energies which has surrounding you. So, then you need to cleanse it. Also, if it loses its brightness, you need to cleanse it. When a stone was touched by different people or several people, say in a group, you have met you have gone for a meeting and you met many people, or you have gone somewhere to impart your wisdom, or you have gone for an energy reading, or you have gone for a healing, or you have done some kind of a tarot reading or an astrological reading for a group of people. Then too you need to cleanse your crystal, because it has been surrounded by a group of people. If friends have come home and maybe people have touched it or looked at it for any given reason, different energies coming into contact with your crystal, also you may need to cleanse your crystal. You will know, because the crystal itself will guide you, it will let you know when it needs it. That is in case, see, all most owners, once they start working with their crystals, they understand that practically speaking, they develop a silent or secret language with the crystals over a period of time. So, you yourself will know when it goes sting, okay, today I need to clean my gemstones, my babies need some cleaning. So, you will know it and let your third eye guide you, I would say, rather your third eye chakra, let it guide you. When a stone has been touched by several people, you need to cleanse it. Also, after a major negative event, maybe it is a death, a conflict of interest with people, you have had a breakup with somebody, or some negative thing has happened in your business area, maybe you had a financial loss or you lost a loved one. Any of these things, if something major negatively has happened in your life, please go ahead and clean your crystals, whether it is your jewelry or the natural forms of crystals that you have with you. Any gemstone that is with you after a negative event has to be cleansed. Always do that, because it is absorbing those negative energies so that it does not affect you. So, after that it will stop working unless you clean it. Then let us go to how you can clean it. First of all, you can use salt. You can I have told you already, you can place your gemstones or your crystals in a bed of rock salt and keep it like that for 24 hours to 48 hours. It will cleanse the crystal. You can also use the breath technique, where you inhale, meditate on the elements of the universe and ask the universe to guide its white light and energies into the crystal, and blow over the crystal, all the negative energies will move away. Also, you can cleanse it with the energy which is the chi energy, by asking the universe to channel all white light and energy into the crystal and remove all negativity. You have to ask the universe each time you do a ritual of cleansing with your crystals. You have to ask the universe to practically do this for you, because asking the universe is the best way to manifest your intentions. And then you can also place it in sunlight or moonlight, as I said earlier. Placing it in sunlight, again you need to understand the MOH scale of your gemstones. In case your gemstone is a hard gemstone, say a diamond or any of the precious gems like ruby, emerald, or even the white diamond is the best, of course. Any of these, even the sapphire, of course, any of these 5 or 4 precious gemstones you can use. It can be placed in direct sunlight, because their MOH scale of hardness is not that brittle. You can place in sunlight for some time. The more brittle stones, you have to be careful, because they tend to be delicate, but it is best always to go with moonlight, because a full moonlight especially works best for cleansing your crystals, because all the feminine energies of the yin is channeled from the universe into your gemstone, and it removes all the negativity and fills it with positive element. Then of course, you can also use meditation, and by chanting loudly with your Om mantras or your Mahadev Mrityunjay mantra to protect your gemstone and remove all negativity. Sound works well, and even you can use a bell to ring away all the negative surrounding it. And you can also put the gemstone in running water for some time until you feel it is clean. Let the crystal guide you through your mind, through your thinking mind, and through your mind's eye. Let it work for you and let it tell you when the cleansing is enough. Always best, whenever you are leaving a gemstone in a particular ritual, to let it work for at least 24 to 48 hours. 24 hours is minimum, maximum is up to 48 hours. You will know how much is the best possible time period to cleanse your crystal. Let your intuition guide you. Of course, master stones also can be used to cleanse your crystals. Master stone, especially your clear quartzes, because they are an all purpose crystal, and a double terminated works best, or a huge master crystal also works. Huge master quartz crystal works well for cleansing a smaller or less powerful crystals which are not a master crystal. They will cleanse it. You have to place them with your master crystal or on a cluster crystal also, and leave it like that for about 24 to 48 hours with your master crystal. It will cleanse your gemstone. You can also place it with flowers, or you can place the flowers with water in the salt water also. As I have said, salt water works for less brittle stones. So, you can put flower petals in your water and also let the sweet smell of the flowers and the purity of the flowers to absorb the negative elements and remove all negative energies. You can also use a store bought cleanser, but of course, I wouldn't have not actually practically used it. So, I do not know how well it works. My friends have used it and they have said that it really works. You can always research it and try it for yourself, and if you feel that it is practically removing those negativities, you can work with a store bought cleanser as well. Then again, I would also like to warn you, or also like to caution you, that it is best when you are using store bought cleansers to make sure whether your particular gemstone is okay with it or not, because it depends on the chemical processes or the processes of it has gone through before it has come to you. Then you can also make sure that when you are using your particular crystals, how you are storing it is very important. Always make sure you store it in a cool, dry place, and while cleaning it, take care that they are not exposed to water or too much sunlight in case they are brittle or delicate. Always keep the hard crystals away from soft crystals. Maybe if you have containers which are having partitions within them, you can do it that way as well. If you are not using this your crystal, if you are not actually using it, if it is a jewelry or a natural one which you are not using it, please store it wrapped in a soft cloth, whether it is velvet or silk or something which is not having too many fibers, because fibers also tend to damage soft or brittle crystals. Keep it in a safe in a bag or in an appropriate pouch, and keep it in a place which is cool and dry and away from too much sunlight. Best to keep it in a slightly darker place. Some crystals are brittle and fragile, which means they are softer and tend to get damaged if they are not used carefully. So, do not expose them to too much sunlight, because they can fade, especially rose quartz or an amethyst, smoky quartz, jade, even celestite tend to be susceptible or vulnerable to sunlight. So, best not to keep them in expose them to too much of sunlight. The colors can fade, and or they can crack or something like that. So, always be very careful with a softer, more brittle form of crystals and gemstones, the fragile gemstones. Also, make sure that when you are doing all of this, before you buy it from your jeweler also, or if you are buying it online, research it or ask your gemologist or your jewelry store manager, whoever it is you are buying it from, ask them also for advice to find out what actually the process your gemstone has gone through before it has reached you. And again, go through your lesson 15 to understand the storage and the practicalities of the kind of gemstone you are using. The best expert for guidance is your crystal itself, because your crystal knows what works best for it. So, you need to relate with your crystal and ask your crystal when you meditate what it needs, and it will guide you and let your intuition help you along the way. That we come to the end of lesson 21. Thank you and namaste everyone.